Alright, how's it going, guys? How's it going? Welcome to my Warriors 2021 season review. Honestly, this one will probably be one of the shorter ones because I just don't have much to say about the Warriors. But yeah, with that, let's get started anyway. So 8 wins, 78% completion rate, pretty much 300 meters more conceded per game as opposed to gaining per game. 80 tries scored, 112 conceded. 12 tries from 6 again, 16 conceded, and 264 offloads. So, I think the thing for the Warriors is they're just, like most teams that didn't make the top 8 this year, that finished sort of like 10th and below, is just lack of experience in the halves. Now, I know they brought in Chad Townsend for X amount of games. I can't remember how many games it was, but I know they brought in Townsend. But in my opinion, Townsend's a bit past it. Like, don't get me wrong, he's got, good leadership. He understands how to direct a team and move them around the park. But yeah, I think he's a bit past it, and he just wasn't what they needed. What they needed was a real leader in their spine. Like, they don't have that. They had fonua-blake. And obviously, when they brought in Reece Walsh, they knew that Walsh was going to sort of be the future of the club, so they put him at fullback and shifted fonua-blake out to the wing, and I think that was a bad idea. Like, fonua-blake was, he was the captain, he was the leader of that side, and they just sort of shafted him a bit this season. I understand, I know he was leaving, so they got to look towards the future. I get that, but at the same time, when you have a player of fonua-blake's quality, you play him. You play him in his best position. But, look, Warriors, sort of expected season. What they come 12th, I think it was, 12th or 13th. Yeah, 12th, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, expected, their spine just wasn't good enough. Their spine just didn't know how to take advantage of, offloads, how to take advantage of 6 agains. Just honestly, it's just inexperience within their squad in all positions, not just their spine, but even in their forwards. They had some lack of experience. Like when fonua-blake got injured at the start of the season, that sort of in my eyes, that sort of sealed their fate. I'll talk about it a bit later, but yeah, in my eyes, that sort of sealed their fate because they just have no experience in the forwards really, apart from 1 or 2 other people who also got injured, which we might talk about in a bit. But yeah, the stats are what you'd expect from the Warriors. They've been struggling for a couple of years, so it's kind of what you'd expect. All right, with the individuals, the coach Nathan Brown. I don't rate him at all. I think he's average at best. Right, you saw it at the Knights. He got brought in to rebuild the club, right? He failed miserably at it. What did he do? He got 2 wooden spoons in a row, and then he went on a 5-game win streak, then a 7-game losing streak, and then a 3-game win streak, and then another 6 or 7-game losing streak, and then he got the sack. Mutually agreed to leave, right? He got the sack. We all know he got the sack. But yeah, I think Nathan Brown isn't good enough as a coach, as a head coach. Just personally, I don't think he knows how to lead a team. I don't think he knows how to organize a team. I don't think he knows how to structure a team. I don't think he knows how to set plays in order to take advantage of situations in games. No, yeah, I think he's average at best, if not worse, right? What the Warriors need at the moment, and it's what they've needed for a couple of seasons now, is they need a complete restructure and a complete rebuild. And Nathan Brown for me just isn't the man to do it. I don't think he's good enough. Just to put it simply. So with him done, next I want to talk about the young fella, the new kid on the block, Reece Walsh. Talented kid, extremely talented kid, but I think the worry is that because he is so talented and because the Warriors are in such a state where they just they need something, there's just going to be a heap of pressure thrown on this kid. And, it's up to him whether he can mentally handle that or not. Now, don't get me wrong, if he was in the right team with the right system, excuse me, if he was in the right team with the right system, he'd be top 5 fullbacks in the competition, right? But just at the Warriors, how they are right now, no, I think he's going to struggle because, like I said, they're going to heap all the pressure on him. It's going to be like, oh shoot, nothing's on. Reece, here, take the ball. Figure something out. You're the young gun. Figure something out for us, please. And don't get me wrong, there were times where he did it this season, but there were also a lot of times where he didn't. Right? And that sort of like, that cost the Warriors because they'd be under a bit of pressure and they'd be like, oh, quick, just throw it to Reece. He'll know what to do. He'll figure something out. And then, he didn't figure something out and it cost him. It screwed him. So, yeah, talented kid, got all the potential in the world, but I think in this Warriors team at the moment, he will struggle to reach his full potential because, like I said, they're just going to heap all the pressure on him and expect him to sort of do everything. I think with Sean Johnson coming in next year to sort of lead the team around a bit more in the halves, I think that'll help him out a bit because, Sean Johnson is that guy that you can just give the ball to. He'll create something out of nothing. And especially now that he's got a lot more experience, he can actually sort of take that sort of back step, and instead of being the one that would have to do everything for the Warriors now, he can just, take that back step, just sort of be the leader, organise, set everything up and let the younger fellas do that now while himself can still do it. So I think that'll be good for Walsh next year. But yeah, this year, he just had too much pressure on him. Everyone expected the world of him. And, again, he did well, but yeah, just too much was expected of him, I think. All right, next is fonua-Blake. I honestly think him getting injured at the start of this season sort of sealed the Warriors' fate. If he stayed fit for the whole season, that's like an extra 100, 150 meters per game from forward hit-ups from just him alone. And off the back of that, you could have your players like your Reece Walsh, your, what's his name? The other young fella in the halves, Harris-Tavita Harris, I think it is. I think that's his name. I could be wrong with that. I'm sorry if I got it wrong, but I think that's his name. Tavita Harris, I think. You could get the players like him, like them, running off the back of just a big run from fonua-Blake. Right, and I think in general he's been a bit underrated. I think last year for Manly was when people sort of started looking at him and being like, oh, okay, this guy's actually got it, And this year when he came back, he showed that he does have it. I think his average run meters, if I remember looking at it correctly, was something like 140, 150 meters per game or something like that. Something ridiculous like that. So if they can build a forward pack around him and get people playing off the back of him, because he's also got a fantastic offload on him. If they can get people playing off the back of him, then, the Warriors can go far. But I think him getting injured this season really sealed their fate. I think it really screwed them up at the start of the season. Next is Tohu Harris. I think he's probably one of the most underrated players in the comp. I think he's phenomenal. But he just doesn't get the credit that he deserves, in my opinion. Similarly to Reece Walsh for the Warriors, in the forward situation, whenever there was whenever there was something that had to be done, it's like, chuck it to Tohu Harris. He'll organise us. He'll get us set up. And every time he did, he did a good job. Again, when he got injured, that sort of sealed their fate a bit even more. I think when he got injured was when they were sort of sitting in that 9th to 10th range, 9 to 11 range, where they could sort of push, they could sort of push on to try and make a top 8 challenge. But yeah, him getting injured ultimately sealed their fate as well. But yeah, Tohu Harris, underrated player in my opinion. He doesn't get the credit he deserves for what he does at the Warriors. And yeah, if he can stay fit, if him and fonua-Blake can stay fit, and they build systems around those two in the forwards to play off the back of, then the Warriors will be a force to be reckoned with next year. I don't think they will do that because, like I said before, I don't think Nathan Brown's a good enough coach, but it's what they should do. Right, and then lastly, just want to just bring him up. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. What an incredible player. It sucks that he's moved on. Obviously, you understand it. He was stuck in Australia for 2 years because of lockdown situation. So he was away from his family. So I understand it. At the same time, I'm pretty sure Union is paying him more now as well. So he's got his young family. He's got to take care of them. So I completely get why he left. I do just wish he didn't, because, you know, he was a fantastic player. He was one of the best players in the competition. And he will genuinely be sorely missed in the NRL. So, you know, Tuivasa-Sheck, you know, obviously he's never going to see this, but, you know, on the off chance he does, good luck with the rest of your career, mate. You know, phenomenal player, you always will be. You know, you'll always be remembered as one of the most highlightable players in the NRL, right? Just the stuff you did, like, you know, not just attackingly, but not just offensively, but, you know, defensively. The amount of try-saving tackles you made, it was out of this world. So, yeah, good luck in your future, mate. And then, yeah, so overall thoughts of the season. They did better than I thought. I thought they'd finish 14th. They finished, 12th? Yeah, 12th. So, you know, they did finish better than what I thought. But then again, I'm pretty sure they had the exact same wins as the Dragons and the Tigers below them. So, you know, they only beat them on for and against. So it's still not the greatest. But again, you know, they did technically finish above where I thought they did. So, you know, that's good on them, I guess. You know, obviously my prediction means nothing. But, you know, like, you know, they did better than I expected. So, you know, it's just how it is. Like I mentioned before, excellent youngsters being bled through, like Reece Walsh. Tavita, I'm pretty sure his name's Tavita Harris. It probably isn't enough, and I probably sound like an idiot because I'm saying the complete wrong person. But I'm pretty sure it's Tavita Harris. But yeah, like, you know, Walsh and him, if they can, you know, with Sean Johnson coming in next year, if they can sort of build the team around those three, like let Sean Johnson be the director, the organizer with his experience that he's got now, and then just let the other two boys just, you know, let them be young, let them be free, let them, you know, roam and do what they want to. You know, the Warriors have potential next year. Again, I don't think they will be a top 8 side next year. I'm just going to say that right now because, again, I just don't think Nathan Brown is that good a coach. I don't think he has the capacity to drive them into the top 8. But with the players they have, there's no reason they couldn't, you know, like at least push to contend, you know, be in that sort of like 8th to 10th sort of space where there's like those 3 or 4 teams, you know, fighting for those final 2 spots of the top 8, you know, like there's no reason they couldn't do that with the players they have. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. All right, and then finally, again, just, you know, losing Tuivasa-Sheck is tragic to the game. Like, it really is. You know, like I said before, fantastic player. He was a role model for, you know, dozens, you know, hundreds of young kids, you know, not only in Australia, but, you know, not only in New Zealand, sorry, but also in Australia. You know, phenomenal player, you know, always had a smile on his face, you know, always give 110%. So, yeah, he'll be sorely missed by not only the Warriors, but, you know, just the NRL as a whole. So, yeah, you know, again, good luck to him in his, you know, for the rest of his career. But yeah, guys, with that, that's my Warriors 2021 review. Obviously, this one's a bit shorter than the others because I really just don't have much to say about the Warriors. They're just it sounds a bit slack, but they're a very generic team. You know, there's never really anything going on behind the scenes with them to talk about or anything like that. So, you know, it's a very generic team, very, you know, simple review to give, I guess. But yeah, with that, guys, let me know if there's anything you think I should add to these videos, anything you think I should take out. You know, I'm happy to do whatever. Alright, but yeah, with that, guys, thanks for watching. Take it easy, and yeah, have a good one.